Well, hello. I just got into Dallas, Texas from Charlotte and from Denver. We were out at Andrew Wallnau's. But the reason I'm saying this is because I thought I was getting in before the Super Bowl. And, you know, I don't follow this stuff closely, but then as the games get closer, I get more interested in them. And it always, you know, I always thought it was strange how people look for spiritual meaning in the Super Bowl. I mean, I understand why we do it. We look for spiritual meaning in everything. But, I mean, honestly, a football game, like God's, you know, talking through it, well, you know, it's possible that, you know, I just think it's strange when people are prophesying about games and outcomes, because it just seems a little bit unusual. But that doesn't mean that almost every Super Bowl, for some reason, like with the Kansas City Chiefs, remember Bob Jones had that prophecy about how when the Chiefs win, that's going to be like a revival, or it's the time when the apostolic ministries will be coming together. And so Bob Jones did put it there. So it's there. And I know there's going to be a bunch of, you know, prophets with, you know, opinions and predictions and stuff. But I got to thinking. So anyway, so I preached in Charleston, and then I caught the flight. And the pastor said to me, he said, "Who do you think's going to win?" That's a legitimate question. But I said, you know, I haven't thought about it. It's the Chiefs again. Well, the Chiefs already won twice. Isn't that right? They won twice. So there's got to be a, you know, I don't know that there's a meaning in having it happen 3 times. But the 49ers, I found out, has a quarterback on their team in San Francisco, which, as we know, is probably one of the most messed up cities in the United States, total woke city. And this guy, I guess Kaepernick was a quarterback before, so a lot of people were like totally eyeball rolling, you know, him as a quarterback. But they got a new guy, and the guy that's in the Super Bowl today is evidently a Holy Spirit-filled Christian who prays and who felt that God called him, and he was a backbench kind of like unknown, and suddenly gets promoted to the front, and there he is in the big game. Now you got my attention. Now you got me thinking, if this is all accurate, and I'm going by a pastor at lunch, and he seemed pretty knowledgeable, and I started thinking, what if there's a message here, and that the Chiefs have already won twice. So I think the Bob Jones thing, I think it's time the Chiefs get together, because we can't keep, you know, having the Chiefs winning all the time. But I think, and Kansas City certainly has some challenges this year. But look at the redemption. What if God is saying, if I was reading into it, and I'm not saying we should, but if I was, I would say that the 49ers win, and that this sign is for us, if you want to pull something out of it, that this inexperienced and unknown is being pushed into the big game, because this year is the Super Bowl. I tell people, don't murmur and complain because it's a political year. Don't get all victimology about, you know, the end times and worry about the nation. This is the Super Bowl, baby. You're playing the big game in the last days. So I think God's taking people that are on the back bench and putting them on the front bench, putting them in the big game, taking people from obscurity and putting them on the field. And I think he's sending us to the places where there's a great door of opportunity, but a lot of adversaries. And San Francisco is a place which needs mercy, not judgment. And that's the reason why it is such a capital, I think, for like it always has been for the homosexual movement, because its redemptive gift in San Francisco is mercy. And mercy can be taken advantage of unless it's understood. So it's a mercy city. And I think God's having mercy on America. Now the question is, if I'm correct, how many points will they win by? Because people don't expect them to win. My son doesn't feel confident that they're going to win San Francisco. So if it's 3 points, that's close. But I'm thinking, I don't like the 3. 3 number's not good, because like the arrows smite 3 times. It means a lack of resolve. We can't have another lack of resolve. If Trump is getting back into office miraculously, we cannot just love tap 3 times. We have to really be resolved. Something big is going to happen. Now, think about this. 7 would be a good spread. for a point spread. 7 mountains. I mean, I am being accused of being a dominionist all the time. Let's just believe God's going to do something on all 7. 5 is mercy. So I'm going to say 7. Although that's a lot of strikes of the arrows. So it could be 4 years. 4 years of mercy with Trump. That's if you're reading into it. You see what I mean? How people can go down and slide into that slippery slope of prophetic. Everything's prophetic. But if that does happen, it'll be 49ers because of mercy, because God's taking someone from the backbench, putting them in the big game, because God's having mercy on America where there could be judgment, and the number by which they win will be an indication. If it's 14, then it's then it's a double portion. And I don't know if I've got that much zeal, but I'm saying 7 would be very powerful. 5 would be grace. I don't want to see 3, but I'd be happy to see us win. Oh, see, I'm identifying already. Am I right about this quarterback being a Christian? My son's driving. Thank you, guys. Poor kids, their whole life they get put on media without permission or with permission. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. There's only 219 of you watching, which shows that I'm under massive tech suppression. I remember the days when it was 1,000 eyeballs in a minute. I just have to accept the fact that we're going to have to go over to Rumble. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Meantime, this is my Facebook message. Let me know what your thoughts are regarding my theory on the win for the 49ers by 7, by 5, by 4. Let's find out. Or maybe 3 times for the Chiefs. But I'm going to go with the 49ers.